with the heavyweight title on the line. The champion Chris Bay going one-on-one with Douglas James, who has a victory over Chris Bay.
Yeah, he's defeated Chris Bay in the past. Douglas James coming back from a very serious dislocated hip injury, told he would never wrestle again, but he finds himself tonight challenging for the FSW Heavyweight Championship. Both these men have not been in the sport very long, both considered prodigies as they entered this industry. And tonight we find out who's the better man. Is it Chris Bay or is it Douglas James?
And we are ready. The matchup is underway.
You gotta wonder though, Chris Bay, he's the one that issued this challenge. You know that defeat that Douglas James in the past is still eating away at him. Is he gonna let? Did he come in tonight with a game plan to issue the challenge to Douglas James, or does Chris Bay see him in the back, in the locker room area, and decide, hey, I still need to beat that guy?
You know, Douglas James, you know, a man who has been in the No Limits division for a long time here in FSW, but he was basically an MMA fighter who decided that he has passion for professional wrestling. So he brings a little bit different game plan to this matchup. Chris Bay is going to rely on a lot of speed, a lot of quickness, while Douglas James a lot of mat work, a lot of strikes.
Clean break.
So it's going to be an interesting matchup. Once again, see if Chris Bay learned something from their first matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting strategy both athletes bring to the contest. Chris Bay, a lot of raw energy, but it's an emotional night for both. For Chris Bay, it's the fact that he is trying to put together the greatest FSW title reign in history. And to do that, he's going to have to beat the men who have defeated him in the past. And Douglas James is one of those men he's targeted. Just fast-paced action here.
You know, we've talked about it with Douglas James, maybe the best drop kicks here in FSW. A man who has defeated people with a drop kick.
Chris Bay standing moonsault.
1, 2.
Connects with it, but Douglas James able to get out. Douglas James challenging for the FSW Championship for the first time in his tenure in this company. Chris Bay has held that championship now for almost 2 months.
And the big chop on Douglas James by Chris Bay.
And a nice uppercut out of Chris Bay.
You know, he won the title just 6 weeks ago at Against All Odds. And he looks to continue the reign.
Oh, and it just attack in the arm, it looks like a Douglas James, but Douglas James, since Chris Bay had picked a target on his body, and he's come alive with counters here. Look at Douglas James roll through and trap Chris Bay. He's hooked him. 2 count only. Chris Bay so far in all his championship matches, I would say has had the speed advantage. Tonight might not be the case.
I'll tell you what, Douglas James does not look like he's missed a beat.
Absolutely not. If you follow Douglas James on any kind of social media, you know he is trained for this comeback. And Chris Bay looked like he was rolling in for that diamond cutter he does when he gets caught.
1, 2. We've talked about that drop kick, and he connected right on the chin of Chris Bay. As we said, once again, a very impressive showing so far from Douglas James. Absolutely no rust whatsoever.
No rust, as he knows what's on the line here. He knew he had to bring his A game to the FSW arena tonight.
You know, you can't look at Douglas James, and it's hard to believe to me that this guy dislocated his hip just 3 months ago.
Yeah, it's actually unbelievable. Same injury that ended Bo Jackson's career.
Sorry.
I could barely walk up the stairs without having a problem.
All right, well, not that bad yet, but you know who's in a bad spot? Douglas James. Chris Bay misses that shot. Douglas James fires away while the champion's handprints on his chest. He's not backing down from anything tonight.
And Douglas James taking advantage of an opportunity. I'm pretty sure he walked into the FSW arena tonight thinking that he was going to get a chance to become the heavyweight champion.
No, he just knew it was his return, and he wanted to make a big deal out of it and prove that he still belonged here. But there will be no further proof that if he came out of this matchup as champion, that he belongs in FSW, and he's better than ever.
Let's get out of the corner now.
Let's go, babe!
And you can just see the focus of Douglas James. You never want to say that something bad happened to you and it made you better, but you know that might have been a wake-up call for Douglas James.
Look at Chris Bay. Who gets caught? Power bomb into the turnbuckles. Full force, the champion went into the corner.
And Chris Bay, the back of his head is jarred up against the turnbuckle.
And all the impact of the knee right to the back of the head of the champion.
1, 2.
After he had been powerbombed into the turnbuckles. Chris Bay still holding the back of his head. The damage has been done by the challenger.
Douglas James looking extremely impressive tonight. He may shock the world.
He's got that laser focus as he drives the champion down.
1, 2.
But we talk about Douglas James's laser focus. We got to think about Chris Bay, all he's been through. Finally getting to the World Heavyweight Championship of FSW. I know we say it was only about a year that he did it in, but really it was a lifetime for him because this is all he's ever wanted to do.
And he is fighting back. He's going to give his all, and tonight it's going to take something huge for either guy to put the other man down for the count of 3.
We just got a battle in the center of the ring now. Both men striking their hearts out.
You know, the champions here in FSW are some of the best in the business. Chris Bay, Damian Drake, the 1%, Sepho Fatu.
But it was that quick second that Chris Bay took the showboat that Douglas James gave the advantage for a minute before Chris Bay took back over. Spinning lariat.
And as you can see, the house is still packed. Everybody's still here checking out our main event tonight in the FSW arena. You know, show after show, we have been killing it here in FSW, and the crowd has been out to support even our FSW arena shows. You know, it's one thing to pack the house in Samstown, but here at the FSW arena, it's great to see it.
Here comes Chris Bay, and when you got action like this building should be full every time. But right now we have the championship on the line, the FSW heavyweight title, and the champ is psyching himself up. Coming in with both knees. And then another one. Chris Bay is fired up. Douglas James came a-charging, but Chris Bay stops him once again. Enziguri.
And he kind of clipped him. He didn't hit him with the full force, but he still got part of it.
That's why he knew he needed to bust that out. Falcon arrow.
1, 2.
And a 2 count only.
Another tremendous matchup. We've had some great matchups tonight, for sure, here at the FSW arena.
And what I've noticed about Chris Bay is every few matches you see him utilize a new offensive weapon. He doesn't try to stick to the same strategy every time. He tries to switch it up so his opponents don't know what to expect out of him. Oh, Douglas James holds on and gets a near fall super kick.
And Douglas James putting the combination together.
Oh, and he traps Chris Bay, but Chris Bay catches him. Doesn't look like he caught him low. It looks like he caught him in the stomach. And that's why Chris Bay was trying for the ribs again, but he gets caught. Douglas James stops him, and now he's just ramming the knees into him. And another running knee strike out of Douglas James.
You know, we might be about to see a new champion.
And it's the big follow-up for Douglas James. Hooks him, base slides behind. Douglas James goes behind, gets in front, big spear.
1, 2.
Insane impact on that, and still not enough to take the title away from Chris Bay.
And both of these guys back and forth.
Sway Thompson wasn't able to do it. Owen Travers wasn't able to do it. Shogun Jones couldn't get it done. But will Douglas James be the man to take the title away from Chris Bay? And a split crowd.
You know, it is amazing, the crowd here at the FSW Arena. They have so much love for so many guys.
Yeah, half of the fans want a new champion. The other half want to see Chris Bay continue to build his legacy as FSW champion.
Come on, champ. Yeah.
Now Douglas James looks to be getting a little bit cocky. Disrespect to the title holder. And Chris Bay once more.
And Douglas was looking for one right across the side of the face.
Maybe all it'll take is one more. Chris Bay catches him. Kick now. Lifting him up. I'm not sure what he's going for here, but leads to a backbreaker.
1, 2.
Gets a 2 count.
I thought he had him, but Chris Bay, even the crowd thought it was all over.
Oh, a lot of people thought Chris Bay was retaining that title. And now Chris Bay is looking to take it up a notch. Ditching the wrist tape. Prepared for war. Leaving it all in the ring now.
And now this is turning more into a slugfest.
Yeah, ever since those slaps were delivered, you saw the whole tone of this matchup change.
The friendship ended.
Both men knew it was on the line from the beginning, but now they're realizing how far they're willing to go for the title.
And Chris Bay trying to finish him off, but look at Douglas James driving the knee right into the jaw.
What is this here? Oh, he gets caught, whatever he was going for. Planted by Chris Bay. Is Chris gonna go for that frog splash if he can get to the top?
And right now, Douglas James is in trouble.
Cute. Frog splash out of Chris Bay.
1, 2.
And Douglas James, who also utilized the frog splash, knew the best way to minimize the impact as he saw Chris Bay flying through the sky, was able to kick out and keep his title hopes alive.
How good a match are we seeing here tonight? Chris Bay, Douglas James.
And Chris Bay isn't sure what to follow up with.
And we could just listen to the fans as they battle back and forth for who they want to see walk away with the FSW Heavyweight Championship tonight.
What kind of offensive weapons do these men have left?
I'll do it for peace, alright? We take your damn head off.
Tried for the short arm clothesline. Wicked headbutt out of Douglas James. Rocks the champion. Douglas James now tries to double stop. Chris Bay avoids it. Chris Bay gets caught. He was going for that springboard stunner.
And look at this, Douglas James.
Rear naked
Chris Bay
choke.
may give up.
Chris Bay fighting with everything he has to get out of it, but right into a cross arm breaker almost. He doesn't have it fully locked in.
As we talked about Douglas James with the MMA background looking to break the arm.
The submission fighting skill of Douglas James that could be the game changer. This matchup, crossface. Chris Bay is close to the ropes though.
Chris Bay is going to have to give up. He's got to reach out. He is so close. All he's got to do is reach the arm out.
Chris Bay is just got to try to reach his arm out or shift the momentum or something. There's the first. And his arm almost dropped, but Chris Bay had a backup plan. He got his foot on the bottom rope.
If he was not that close to the rope, the hand would have hit the canvas, and we would have had a new champion.
Douglas James forced to release the hold. And now Douglas James is taking the wrist tape off. The FSW Championship is on the line. Serious business, serious consequences.
Douglas wants it. He wants that belt. He is so close. He has almost had the victory numerous times in this match, and Chris Bay is slow to his feet, on his knees.
Chris Bay may not be getting up soon.
And Douglas James, a vicious kick.
Right to the chest of the champion. Now Douglas James looking for the kill shot, but Chris Bay.
1, 2.
Jumping knee. Spinning back fist countered. Looks like he got a little bit of the back of the head. Caught him that time.
And that time he connected.
Springboard, diamond cutter, the ultimate finesser.
1, 2, 3.
Chris Bay retains the title.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and still FSW Heavyweight Champion, Chris Bay.
Just a non-stop back and forth athletic contest. It could have gone either way, but tonight Chris Bay proved why he is currently the king of the mountain in Future Stars of Wrestling.
Any double, you can get that. Come on, dog. The future. God damn, he's the present. Let's go.
Underappreciated in some places, but not in Las Vegas. TJ Perkins is one of the finest athletes in the world.
You know, Douglas James prides himself as being one of the best mat technicians in the business today. Well, if he can take out TJP tonight, he may be right.
He absolutely may be. Douglas James is hungry. Douglas James is ready for the biggest challenge of his career. He is hungry for opportunities, and he is hungry for success.
And the bottom line is, pretty much whoever wins this match, I gotta believe is the #1 contender for the No Limits title.
I would absolutely hope so. Question becomes, TJ Perkins, internationally traveled superstar, one of the best wrestlers in the world today. How much does he know about Douglas James? Douglas James sent a message to TJP this past week that he was ready for tonight. He's coming into this laser focused.
You know what? I've known him for a few years, and I got to say, you know, he keeps up with things. He's a guy who follows it. You know, as you said, he was 16 years old when TJ, you know, first made waves in the wrestling business on the West Coast.
Legit, people were taking notice of this guy before he even graduated high school, and it's innovative moves like that that made him stand out, escaping that hold.
You know, TJ is a 17 or 18-year veteran, and he's only like 33 years old.
I know. He's a little bit younger than I am. When I was 16, I was actually doing things I shouldn't mention on the air here.
Yeah, absolutely.
This guy was competing against some of the best athletes in the world, and nothing's changed for him. Douglas James, he's gotten some international notches under his belt. He's wrestled in Mexico, and look at TJP. Look at just how seamlessly he strings together these holds, this offense.
You know, and that's, you know, a certain thing we've talked about some of the wrestlers, Thomas Day or Ryan Taylor, about how they transition and it's just, you know, so smooth. You know, as good as those guys are, I got to believe TJ is at the forefront.
Oh, he's gonna level up even. And that's why Douglas James wanted this tonight. Win or lose tonight for Douglas James, if he holds his own at least with TJP, he leaves an imprint on the wrestling world.
Well, there was a lot of people who wanted that match.
Oh, I know.
When they heard he was here, I got a lot of emails. Some people a little unhappy that they didn't get that match. And it's like, well, you know what? Douglas James has earned the opportunity.
Look at that, head scissors, and he holds on.
And you are going to see it all tonight. We got brute power, we got strength, we got athleticism, and then we got this. You know, if you're a fan of professional wrestling, no matter what style you like, you got Funny Bone and Sin later tonight, Bay and Cross, TJ, we have it all.
We got about 4 matches tonight that could go sideways in any way. This is the match right here that is going to be pure skill that wins it. Look at TJP balancing. And TJP, though, he gets caught up by Douglas James after that escape. Trips up James himself. James able to kick out. TJP right back and face off between these two tremendous athletes. When TJP won the Cruiserweight Classic, Douglas James was just breaking into the sport. This was one of the men he was looking up to at the time.
And now he has an opportunity, and he has climbed the ranks here at FSW. And now all of a sudden, when it looks like he's in line for that No Limits title, you know, now all of a sudden he's got to beat TJ Perkins to get it.
Hey, you know what, though? Again, he is ready for tonight. He wanted this matchup. And look at TJP, look at his own arm, brings over Douglas James. I think he almost confused some of the people in the crowd with how difficult that probably was to do to Douglas James, as was that. TJP just one step ahead of a relentless Douglas James.
And look at this.
Brings him into the Scorpion Deathlock and switches it up into the Muda Lock.
And the question is, will Douglas James tap out? But TJ doesn't have it locked in.
Now, TJP was only able to maintain the hold for a little while, and Douglas James rolls to the ropes, but the damage has been done to the joints of his knees. And look at TJP. Douglas James gets to his feet and he immediately went to the corner after him.
Nice shoulder takedown by TJ Perkins with the dab.
Yeah, well, there's...
Little dab will do you.
Oh, Douglas James attempting what TJP tried earlier in the contest. And
what is Douglas James doing?
Well, TJP did that earlier in the contest to Douglas James when he gets tied up. Shades of Mike Quackenbush here.
Is Doug okay?
He's tied up like a pretzel.
Giving a stroke?
He's turtling him out. There's only one way to break this hold, and Douglas James isn't going to like it. TJP has targeted him. And he unties Douglas James with a drop kick. TJP has been one step ahead of Douglas James in this matchup here. but we know Douglas James is qualified for big match situations, winning the Limitless tournament this past April. That's what brought him to tonight. TJP had issued a challenge to the winner of that tournament. And Douglas James moves out of the way at the last second. And finally, drop kick in the corner.
This could be the opening that Douglas James needs.
Douglas James might able now to be able to bring that high impact offense, show it off to the world against TJP. Charges in the corner with the uppercut. Not finished yet. Follows up with another one.
And he's got TJP roiling at the moment.
Look at TJP though.
A lot of reversals going on.
He's going Ultimo.
With the headstand.
Into the head scissors. TJP is just putting on an exhibition of offense tonight.
Oh, look at that. TJ Perkins, he may have studied that one as Douglas James comes up empty on his drop kick. Oh!
He catches TJP with the drop kick, sends him to the outside. Douglas James with a Lope Suicida drives the shoulder into the face of TJP.
Way to not bash into the guardrail.
I know. He's learning. Hit his opponent, not the guardrail.
Threaten him with a fine.
You're going Bill Watts on everybody.
That's what I'm saying. You know how much I pay, so, a fine, it's more than he made.
10% would bring him in the negatives.
That's what I'm talking about.
Douglas James breaks up the count. Going back for another chop here on TJP. Douglas James sends Perkins back in the ring. That's where he's going to try to tap him out or pin him to get that victory.
Oh, and Doug connects with the kick to the side of the head.
Brings himself in.
1, 2.
And only gets the 2 count.
Almost put him away. And I must admit, I expected a much faster pace, Jake. These guys have been very methodical. Not wanting to make a mistake.
I mean, they've been wrestling a very non-high-risk style, but they've been going at a pretty quick pace, I think. And look at that. Maybe that's the reason. That was the second risk Douglas James tried to take in this contest, and he got stopped by TJP.
And look at this. TJ going for the superplex.
Yeah, he's trying to bring Douglas James up and over, but it's a struggle right now.
If they don't go over our way.
For Perkins. Look at that. Douglas James pushes him off. But TJP crotching Douglas James on the top. That's one way to regain control of a contest. Springboarding in. Hurricane Rana from the top.
And Douglas James is down. But TJP, he's still kind of reeling from earlier, not able to get back at Douglas James, and they're both down on their feet.
Yeah, Douglas James brought down by TJP, but TJP took a lot out of himself, delivering that springboard Hurricane Rana from the top. He wasn't able to go for a cover afterwards.
Oh, and TJP able to get the boots up. Oh, and the drop kick from the backside.
Yeah, he brained him in the back of the head with that drop kick from the top. What is TJP doing up here? Slingshot drop kick, and he's not done yet. TJP is sent to the top. Brings all his weight down across the chest.
1, 2. And that was an interesting way to hit that cross body.
It was. Had a little bit of extra impact. Like I've said about TJ Perkins, it's never been a lack of respect in his career from the fans or fellow wrestlers. Suplex, snap suplex into a back suplex. And TJP's going back up top. One of the premier high flyers in the world.
Douglas James is up before TJP can do anything.
Yeah, Douglas James saw TJP up there out of the corner of his eye, cuts him off. And look at that though, look at TJP bending James' arm backwards, but Douglas James Great extension on the drop kick. Rocks TJP. Now Douglas James setting up for that superplex. Brings him over, holds on. Goes into a GTS. TJP still standing.
And he clobbers it with a clothesline. 1, 2, 3. No! And Douglas James with a lethal combination, but is not able to put away TJ Perkins.
That was the type of combination that you expect to put away anybody with. Superplex into a GTS, followed it up with a lariat, and Douglas James couldn't put down TJP.
As they said, it's getting real.
Yeah, Douglas James taking it to the next level now. Another clubbing forearm from Douglas James, floors TJP.
And Douglas James with his mixed martial arts background driving the knees into TJ Perkins.
Douglas James trying something, TJP catches him. And catches him. Got him in a guillotine. Can Douglas James hold on here? Douglas James, though, trying to hurt him up. Showing off tremendous power.
1, 2, 3.
But no, TJP gets the shoulder up. Douglas James rolling over the Texas Cloverleaf at an extremely heinous angle for TJP. If TJP can't reach the... Oh, TJP, though, counters it.
And look at this, TJ trying to tap out Douglas James.
He's stretching out the ligaments of his ankle, and he's got his other leg tied up there. Douglas James in the center of the ring. So you got to try to roll over to alleviate some pressure or drag his body to the bottom rope to break this hold. And in the biggest match of his career, Douglas James makes sure he doesn't go down that way. Gonna see who's got more left. Who's got more reserves here. Spinning back fist miss. TJP though is back with those kicks. Douglas James leaping in the air, catches him with a knee. Avoids TJP's spinning kick. Super kick out of Douglas James. Douglas James, full head of steam here, but he gets caught. Drop kick right in the knee by TJ Perkins. The knee has been worked over throughout this matchup here by Perkins with various submission holds.
And both men, they've been going at it back and forth.
Yeah, both men letting it all hang out tonight. TJP, though, sets James back up on the top turnbuckle. Going for another superplex here, but Douglas James is fighting it.
And once again, TJ trying to go, and he's got him by his left leg.
Oh, no.
Douglas James not in a good position, but he's able to fight it off.
He's able to fight it off, but that leg, that knee has been damaged. Spear by Douglas James. He put every ounce of his body weight behind that.
And TJ Perkins, his head comes crashing against the mat.
Douglas James going up top on one bad wheel, looking to finish off TJP, but TJP gets the knees up. And he ties James up again. Douglas James has got to try to reach the rope once again.
And,
3 minutes. 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 3 minutes.
are disappointed that they do not have a winner.
I'm disappointed. You hear him? 9 more minutes.
Why does everybody look at me?
You own this place. Well, I guess really the fire marshal owns it tonight because they told you what you couldn't do.
The crowd is livid. I just got told I can't sell tickets to people who reserve them because they're taking money.
Let them fight. 9 more minutes.
You know, we have a lot of matches tonight. We can't just keep adding time to a match.
Well, make the other ones 10-minute time limits. Do something.
You know, it's a great idea. Do what? The match is over.
Do you want to riot? What if they start throwing stuff in the ring?
Well, then our ring crew have to clean it up.
TJP and Douglas James.
You know, I'm pretty sure this ain't the end.
Yeah, we better see a rematch down the road.
But no reward. Pump kick. German suplex where he just hurled Douglas James with everything he had.
Look at this. Hammerstone has him up, but the knee.
That knee again. Douglas James are trying to kick him, but Hammerstone saw it coming from out of nowhere.
1, 2.
That pizza cutter couldn't put down Hammerstone, but it allowed him to plant Hammerstone dead center in the ring so he can apply that half crab that he has locked in. Will Hammerstone tap? Hammerstone now not wanting to go down like that. He's not taking Douglas James lightly this time.
Connects again with the big knee right to the jaw.
Douglas James going upstairs. What the hell? Hammerstone knew he was in trouble. Shoves the ref into the ropes. They shook. Douglas James crouched up top now. Any shortcut he can take, Hammerstone will.
And right there, that could have been it. But it's obvious that the knee, the left knee of Hammerstone,
it's not healed. It's going to bother him the rest of this matchup. So he's got to think of a quick way to put away Douglas James.
But for some reason, Hammerstone feels the need to try to go up top again. Maybe not.
And he feels the need to talk trash to Douglas James, who's not going to take it.
He might have just woken up Hammerstone, firing away with the big forearms right to the jaw.
And now Hammerstone going up top. He tried a superplex.
And now he's going to the top rope.
Earlier in this match, did not work out for him. In some ways, it's what turned the tide. But this time, it looks like he's got it secured tightly. Superplex holds on. And then a release powerbomb. That was all impact.
1, 2, 3, no.
And still Douglas James kicks out. But this time, Hammerstone's not wasting any time. Locking in that dragon sleeper on what appears to be a limp carcass of Douglas James.
And listen to the crowd there trying to get behind Douglas James.
And Douglas James got to the ropes. There was no way he's going to be able to physically try and overpower Hammerstone to escape that, but he did the best option he could, and that was getting to the ropes to break the hold.
You know, we said it before, the frustration has got to be setting in. What has Hammerstone got to do to put this man away?
I don't know, Douglas James holding on to the ropes. He's trying to prevent Hammerstone from inflicting any more damage on him.
And a big boot to the side of the head.
Crowd really behind Douglas James. They want to be here for history. They want to be here the night Douglas James won his first FSW title.
Oh, and look at this.
That time he got him. Earlier in the match, he tried an inside cradle, but it didn't happen. Low bridge. And Hammerstone is on the outside, and Douglas James knows what's at stake. Tope con hilo. On to the champion. And it's wrist like that. Douglas James needs to take with the title on the line here.
He's got to get Hammerstone back in the ring and pin him.
Douglas James isn't done yet. Trying to psych himself up. Going up top. Trying that frog splash that's brought him so many victories. Oh, but Hammerstone once again can turn the tide with one shot.
And you could see Hammerstone trying to finish him off. But again, what is it going to take? He's got him in the torture rack. And that is it. 1, 2, 3. No, once again, can you believe Douglas James kicks out again?
Yeah, Douglas James might have used his last ounce of energy, getting the shoulder up to make sure he wasn't put down by Hammerstone. And like we said, Hammerstone's ego is so big, he's getting frustrated that Douglas James is able to kick out of all his big offensive weapons. In his mind, nobody should be able to take what he can dish out. Figure Hammerstone last time at FSW, he defeated Michael Elgin with this title on the line. But he might not be able to put down Douglas James. Got him in a triangle choke. Hammerstone,
who's right close to the middle of the ring. Not sure he's got enough to get to the ropes.
Hammerstone is going to have to try and slug his way out of this. And once again, he shoves the ref. I'm not a big fan of grind. What?
Oh, and look at this.
By disqualification, Douglas James.
Is this real? I guarantee you, Douglas James.
Your Nevada State champion, Hammerstone.
I guarantee you, Douglas James doesn't want the match to end like this.
What a way to end this hard-fought matchup. Obviously, the frustration from Hammerstone was settling in. But I gotta say, Jake, you know, I know you can't put your hands on the referee, but I don't know.
Then restart it. I'm sure Douglas James would want it that way.
One of the fastest rising stars in all of professional wrestling. What the hell? Hammerstone not waiting for Douglas James. No disqualification, so there's nothing referee Austin Grimes can do about it. And you gotta figure Hammerstone knows he's in trouble. They have met twice before, and on both occasions, Hammerstone lost. The first time this past February, Douglas James defeated Hammerstone. Oh no! He defeated Hammerstone by pinfall, and just 2 weeks ago, right here on Twitch, it was for this very championship, the Nevada State title. Hammerstone intentionally got himself disqualified to save his title reign. That's what leads us to no DQ tonight. Hammerstone wants the mic.
And the Nevada State champion is taking a seat.
Never eats the lion. The clownfish never eats the shark. Douglas James never beats Hammerstone.
I beg to differ, Jake.
I am just so sick of this. This new age, this 2019 progressive crap. You're all so obsessed with underdogs. You're so obsessed with undersized, underperforming wrestlers. Really, you love them. No, listen to this. Listen to this. You like them because you know they shouldn't win. So, you're walking over to,
Hammerstone endorsing more human growth hormone in our locker room.
Douglas James. PCW, I beat Douglas James. NLW, I beat Douglas James. FSW, I beat Douglas James. I beat Douglas James in almost every damn state I've been to. But still, the comments were, oh, I can't wait to watch Douglas James in interview. And the reason it is because you're obsessed with this underdog. It makes no sense. Why don't you just have the people that are good? See, I'm the best. That's ever going to be. That's what I'm saying. Because Douglas James will never, ever beat me. These are cold, hard facts. So I think I heard that to explain this to you because tonight the main event already happened. Funny moments in that new crowd. Y'all got real happy about it. But Douglas James, he's never gonna beat Hammerstone, alright? That's just a cold hard fact. See, he's a
And Hammerstone, I believe, is shocked that Douglas James is even in the ring at this time.
Yeah, Hammerstone got the jump on DJ, but Douglas James, the Ironheart, he's got a relentless soul, will not be put down that easily.
You know, it worked the last time when they jumped Shogun Jones and they stole the FSW Heavyweight Championship.
Well, Hammerstone realizes he's in for a fight now. Douglas James hasn't gotten back to his feet just yet. But no disqualification. The title is at stake, but has the damage already been done to Douglas James? What kind of challenger will he be now after being powerbombed on the apron?
And now the match.
Douglas James! Taking advantage of no disqualification himself. If he could go for the cover, he might have Hammerstone beat. Douglas James, the most talented competitor in FSW, can never hold a championship. Hammerstone, two-time former FSW champion, current tag team champion, and he's held that Nevada State title since June of this year, 5+ months after he defeated Sefafaku.
The cover, 1, 2.
Douglas James giving it everything he has. Still trying to recover from that sneak attack from Hammerstone, and he flares him off the top. Douglas James, he's got to use his speed. He's got to use his striking ability.
Right underneath the jaw.
If he can lock Hammerstone into submission, the champion could be in trouble, but that's where Hammerstone has the advantage, the brute strength. Each shot he delivers will actually have more force than Douglas James, despite James' striking background, just because of the size mismatch.
And the brute power of Hammerstone.
Pizza cutter!
1, 2.
And Hammerstone recovers quickly. Hammerstone still feeling the effects of that belt shot that opened this bout up.
Project Body Count, Nevada State Champions, FSW Heavyweight Champions, and Tag Team Champions. Can Douglas James tonight rest the Nevada State Championship and crown and be first time ever champion?
And look at that capture. And he hurls Douglas James through the air. And Douglas James lands hard. The brute strength of Hammerstone could be the deciding factor in this Nevada State Championship matchup. No rules, no disqualification.
And Hammerstone has the steel chair. It's all legal.
And Douglas James creating that separation, trying to regroup on the outside. The thing is, no rules, anything goes. You're never safe no matter where you're at.
And Douglas James.
Hammerstone, where did Douglas James go? Douglas James went through the other side. Tope suicida.
Vicious chair shot right to the head.
He brained DJ. And Hammerstone is getting cocky. Rather than go for the cover to try to put away Douglas James, he's decided to argue with a lady who has to be restrained by her boyfriend. We don't know.
Guess so. Because he doesn't want to have to defend her honor and get his ass whooped by
Don't
Hammerstone.
blame him. Overhead belly to belly from Hammerstone.
And it looked like Douglas James for a split second was going to become the Nevada State champion, but Hammerstone is just taking the...
And another overhead belly to belly. It is to Hammerstone's advantage to slow down the flow of this matchup. What? And now that girl's still being restrained by her weird uncle. He wants that Hammerstone.
And right now.
And another chair shot by Hammerstone. Douglas James has just been beaten down by Hammerstone throughout this matchup and before this matchup, other than a flurry of offense where we thought he would pull it off again.
And Douglas James, not sure how much he has left in the tank.
And Hammerstone put all his body weight behind that. He went down with that hammer throw as Douglas James collided with the buckles. And Hammerstone not done with that chair.
It just doesn't sound good coming out your mouth.
And Hammerstone definitely knows how to get the crowd. Oh, look at this.
Shadowboxing a steel chair, that's a first. Douglas James is still moving though. Most athletes would have been taken out early, before the match. But Douglas James still has life. He still has fight inside of his body.
And he's got Douglas James up.
Oh, Douglas James evades disaster, turns the tide with the Hurricane Rana, and sends Hammerstone's head into the steel. Douglas James has to capitalize. Could there be a title in his future? Douglas James now, using Hammerstone's favorite weapon. Steel collides with the spine of the reigning Nevada State champion.
And he is just crashing the chair against the back of Hammerstone.
Douglas James, whether you think of an underdog story or not, Douglas James wants to make sure he wins the championship tonight. And that super kick's going to get him closer to the title. This has been building inside of Douglas James for weeks.
The cover, 1, 2.
And after that steel onslaught, Hammerstone able to get his shoulder up.
Oh, look at this.
The guillotine. This is how he won the Limitless tournament. Hammerstone,
And the crowd, they want to see a new champion.
That's a massive man to try and force the tap out. But he might do it. Douglas James might be on the road to his first FSW championship. But Hammerstone's not letting that go down that way.
But look at this. Douglas James is holding on for dear life.
Oh no. Looks like he was trying to lift him into the nightmare pendulum. Douglas James getting that knee up at the last second. Douglas James with visions of gold dancing in his brain right now, but Hammerstone, incredible ring positioning, crotches James on the top. Hammerstone once again slowing down this matchup.
He is wobbly, but he is to his feet, and Douglas James very slow to get on up.
Every time the pace is picked up, it's been to Douglas James' advantage. Every time Hammerstone has been able to control the momentum and work a more deliberate style, wrestling more deliberate pace, he has been in control.
And look at this. Hammerstone likes to do this on occasion. He has no problem going up top.
Hammerstone will bust out the big, heavy artillery in major championship situations when he has a challenger like Douglas James. There's the superplex.
1, 2.
Oh, and Douglas James trying to catch the champion by surprise.
A low blow by Hammerstone. He would have got DQ'd again if it wasn't a no DQ match.
But Hammerstone can't save himself this time against Douglas James. And rather than go for the cover after that low blow, Hammerstone decides Douglas James needs more. He needs to teach Douglas James a lesson. A chair. Oh no! Douglas James just gets powerbombed violently on the steel.
And the crowd appreciating a good powerbomb onto a chair. 1.
And Hammerstone says this one's not done. This is a message to everybody in the FSW locker room. This is a message to everyone in the FSW locker room that you don't mess with. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Shogun Jones, the man who Hammerstone and Graves took out of the championship match at Against All Odds. He's got Douglas James's back. He's looking for revenge.
Hammerstone is down. Douglas James up top.
Frog splash!
1, 2, 3.
And lose.
And history has been made here at the FSW Arena. Douglas James, for the first time, is crowned a champion here in FSW, and he defeats Hammerstone thanks to Shogun Jones.